Hello, good evening, everyone. Give you all a second to log on. It's Wednesday night, Wednesday night, Wednesday night, Wednesday night. Oh, Wednesday night. I know some of y'all probably forgot it was Wednesday because Memorial Day threw you off. But it is Wednesday night. So exciting. I tell you, we're already in June. Already in June. When you come on, just give us a good evening in the chat so we know that you're here. A hello. How you doing? Just excited to see who our Wednesday crew is going to be tonight. So when you hop on, give us a hello or something. Excuse me. If you're joining us on the stream, say hello, hello, hello. We have another awesome lesson planned for you tonight. You want to see who's in the place, who's in the space. Good evening. Hello. We've got our first hello. Don't let her be the only hello. If you are joining us, say good evening, say hello, say something in the chat so we know that you're with us. Trying to see who our Wednesday crew is going to be. We are so excited for tonight. PHM EDU Live. Don't forget to share it once you're on here. Hello. Good evening, Miss Mona. Don't forget to tell somebody, hey, jump on Facebook or YouTube and get this Wednesday night experience. Just want to recap for all of you all that for the next couple of weeks, we'll be doing PHM EDU Live. Hey there, Miss Neva. It is not your typical, Wednesday night where we kind of have the regular Bible study. We have interactive lessons that are on all types of topics. Some of you all were on our Wednesday crew last week. I saw some of your names last week. We had a great time. We were studying how has the word transformed your life? And it was just such a great Wednesday. We have this week, Errol's going to be talking about organization and technology, which I'm telling you, stay tuned because we got a couple different activities that you're going to need to participate in. And then next week, we're going to have Minister Donna Griggs. And the week after that, we're going to have Elder Neva Hammond. And the topics vary each week, but one thing that's going to be the same is it's going to be interactive and it's going to be impactful. So I'm really, really excited for that. If anyone else is logging on, don't forget to say good evening, hello. We want to see who our Wednesday crew is this week because we are just excited. One thing that I love about this ministry is that the motto is come for the experience. And so it's one thing to watch the recording later. It's a different thing to just be there while it's happening and being part of the interaction. So we planned some things tonight that I think you're really going to enjoy and benefit from. So if you haven't already, share it with somebody else. Let them know. Share it to your friends. Share it to your enemies. Share it to anybody. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and introduce our lead instructor for tonight, our session navigator. Errol Ebanks is going to be our guru tonight. He's going to be leading us. Hey, Ms. Rita. And so be sure to interact with him, show him that love as he comes on and gives you today's session.
All right. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction, Rachel, my wonderful and beautiful wife. Thank you so much for that intro. So good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, So I hope everyone is doing well today. Today we're going to be diving in to organizing our files, and that is something very major. I've seen a lot of times, I've looked at a lot of people's computers, and it is a chaotic mess finding files, documents, photos, you name it. And today we're just going to do a small, bite sized piece of how do we organize our files quick and easy. So we're going to learn about that. But before we dive in and learn about that, we are going to be working together. We are going to be looking at our computer a little bit later on and playing fun activities. But before we dive into the good stuff, let's bring up this slide presentation right here on organizing your files. All right, so we're just going to be diving in, and we're just going to do an opening activity first. So if you could have an extra hour of free time every day, how would you use it? If you want to put that in the chat to let me know, that would be great. So if you had an extra hour of free time every day, how would you use it? Now, for me, how would I use an extra hour of free time? Um, it would probably be learning about maybe photography or technology, or practicing on lighting or something like that. That's probably realistically how I would use an extra hour of free time, or spend it with my wife learning something new. That we can do, cook, create, or something. Now, let's see in the chat what we got. So, Miss Neva says reading and just using it as me time, which is great. Everybody needs some me time, some alone time, just to recharge and rejuvenate. So that is really great. What about anybody else? And Miss Neva, do you know what book you might be actually reading? Do you have a book in mind that if there was that extra hour of free time that you would want to read that book if you had that extra hour of free time every day? And anyone else who's watching, what if you could have that extra hour of free time every day, how would you use it? How would you use that extra free time? All right, all right. And I'll wait for the chat to keep populating, but we want to move on to our next activity right here. All right, and Miss Neva says it's a series on mental health, the book, the reading. Awesome. That is good. That is good. Yes. So those are some great things, about if you had that extra time in the day, what would you want to do? And Miss Neva, reading up on mental health, that is awesome. Everyone needs that mental clarity, and things like that. But we have our next opening activity right here. Growing up, what was one chore you did not like to do? I think everybody who's watching right now could answer this. Growing up, what is that one chore you didn't like to do, and maybe currently you still don't like to do? I know for me, I don't like cleaning bathrooms. Ugh, I just don't like it. That's not my forte. I will clean a kitchen, I will wash the dishes, I would even mop the kitchen floor. But a bathroom is something I cannot, for some reason, my mind cannot grasp. Like, ooh, not me, not me. Um, all right, so we got a few. So let's see. Mona says sweeping. Okay. I remember working at Capriati's and I had to sweep the floors sometimes. I didn't like doing it. I didn't like doing it either. Miss Neva, washing and folding clothes. I think that is probably my second chore that I don't like. I rather just throw it in a drawer and that's it. Um, but washing and folding clothes, yes, because it all piles up, and then once you wash it and clean it and dry it, then you have to tidy it, make it look nice. Hopefully, it doesn't have wrinkles. But yeah, all of that. So, you know, that's something to keep in mind. What is one thing you didn't like to do? Um, and we're going to see how all of these things, all of these questions, hopefully ties in where we're going right here. Now, let me dive in and talk about our agenda today. What are we going to be learning today? What are we going to be doing today? And we're going to be having fun. We're going to be organizing. Now, if you have a PC, so I want to throw this out there, we're going to be using a Windows device, a PC for these activities, but you can definitely think about how you want to organize maybe your phone, or if you're on a Mac, or even on a Chromebook. So keep that in mind. Even though we're working on a PC today, you can still apply it to those right there. But today's agenda, what are we organizing today? And I've been always wanting to try to tie what I'm doing tech wise to the Bible or the scripture or something. Um, I don't want to feel left out in this area. So I was like, how can I tie in technology and the Bible and things like that, or organizing whatever it is that I'm talking about? How can I tie that in? So today we're going to be diving in on how or what we are organizing today. What does the Bible say about being organized? And how can we organize our desktop, our computer desktop? So you are in for a treat learning how to do all of that. All right. So in the chat, is this what your desktop looks like maybe right now? Does it look something similar to this right here? Does your desktop look kind of similar to this? Files, folders everywhere is just strewn across. Does your desktop look anything similar to this right here? And if you want to put yes or no in the chat, maybe you can definitely do that to let me know right here. So I can say from working in the tech field, family members, friends, a lot of their desktops look like this. A lot of files, a lot of the folders, a lot of the documents are kind of scattered everywhere, you know? But what we're going to do tonight, which is going to be great, is we're going to take our clutter and we're going to go from this right here to this right here. Now, does everyone have a clutter-free desktop? Or maybe not the desktop, but your files or folders. Is that clutter-free? Or is everything in various areas around your computer? Do you might have a hard time finding it? Well, we're going to be learning how we can be clutter-free. How can we still stay organized and grow from there as well? So we're going to be learning all about that tonight. And we're going to have fun. We're going to be very interactive, keep utilizing that chat. So we're going to go from a cluttered desktop to a very clean desktop, learning about backing up to a little bit as well. All right. So what are we organizing today? So our demo will focus on the desktop, but you can apply this to all facets of your life. Now, in the digital space, I'm organized to a T. But in the physical realm, my room, maybe placing things in files or folders that is tangible, I'm working on that. I am truly, truly working on that. But in the chat, um, how can you are you very organized um, in your digital life, or more in the physical realm? Which one are you? Are you more organized in the digital space or the physical space? If you want to put that in the chat. And don't be shy. Don't be shy. So for me, I'm more organized in the digital space. But in the physical space, maybe if there was like a bill and I had to put it in those folders and stuff, it takes me days, sometimes weeks to get to it. And the paper's somewhere on the side. But when it comes to digital, I'm able to just place this here, organize it in a folder, maybe put it in an app, and I'm good to go. But with the physical space, I kind of take my time and just wait. So let's see. So Neva says more in the physical space. So that is good. That is good. Staying organized that way. That is good. All right. So now I'm going to dive into another question before we dive in. So in the chat, describe the feeling you get right after you finish cleaning up a part of your house or your car. What is that feeling like when you accomplish cleaning that specific task, whether it be in your house or your car? I want to say a week or two ago, I washed my car for the longest time, and that felt really good to me. That man, my car is clean. Um, there's no pollen on it or anything. It is clean. When it comes to maybe my photography gear, cleaning up, placing it back, things like that. It just gives me like, all right, now this is in its place. My wife always says everything has a home, and finish cleaning up, clean up after yourself. So things are tidy, you know? So those are some great things. So Miss Neva, yes, in the chat, there you go. I accomplished something and you feel happy. Yes. So it feels good to finish cleaning up something and putting things away. But now we're going to dive into an activity. So we're not just going to sit and talk. We're going to do an actual activity. So currently right now, go to your desktop or laptop. If you're watching this on the computer, you can definitely do this and report how many items you might have on your actual desktop. Now, if you're not on the computer, how many items you might have on your smartphone. How many items are on your actual smartphone home screen right there? So if you're not on the computer, if your desktop is clean, or your laptop, how many items do you have on your desktop, or do you have on your smartphone? So I'm going to actually count to see how many items I have on my smartphone. I have a ton of items on my computer, but it's not on the desktop. It's more on the start menu. But I'm going to count how many items I have on my device. And as we're counting those, what types of maybe files or folders do you have either on the computer, or maybe applications on your phone? Is those apps just random everywhere, or do you have them housed in different folders on your computer? So, for those who are joining in, go to your desktop or laptop, or even your phone if you don't have your computer nearby, and report how many items do you have either on your desktop or on your phone? How many items do you have on your phone, on your home screen? How many items do you have? All right. All right, Miss Neva, there you go. So you have four items on your phone. Now, I probably need to learn from Miss Neva because I have a total of and some things are in folders, which are good. If they wasn't, it will be a problem. But what I have about 42 items on my phone, on my desktop. It is pretty clear. Um, but on my phone, I have a ton of different applications, files, and folders on there. But I have 42 items on my home screen that spans to about two different home screen areas right there. So let's talk about that for a minute. Let's kind of unpack that. We have maybe a lot of files, folders. Some might have less, which is good. So what is that saying? What is that saying to us? Maybe we don't need all of these things. We don't maybe need all of this clutter, right? Now, what we want to do now is we're now going to do your turn. So, what I want everyone to do is look up what Bible has to say about being organized. All right, and I see Darlene. So, 29 on the phone, different applications, and 15 on a tablet. All right. Yep. So we can see we might have a lot or a little bit. Miss Neva is very organized, which is great. So those are some great things. But what we want to do right now is look up what the Bible has to say about being organized. And if you found a scripture in the Bible that talks about being organized, put it in the chat so we can all see it. So I'm going to give about maybe a minute or two, and then we are able to now see what does the Bible have to say about being organized. All right, I can't wait to see what everyone has to say. I'm very excited to see what they pull up. Um, And if you want to use Google or Bing, you can definitely do that as well. But if you already know that scripture, you could definitely place it in the chat. So, what does the Bible say about being organized? I'm like, how do we tie this in? Right? We're talking about cleaning up our desktop and things like that. Well, it's all about being organized. It's all about being clutter free as well. So, what does the Bible have to say about being organized? Well, the Bible says in 1 Corinthians 14:40, but all things must be done properly and in an orderly manner. Now, why do you think that is so important in the chat? Why do you think things need to be done properly and in an orderly manner? Why is that so important to apply that to your life and the things you do in your life, whether it be in the physical world, the digital world? Why should things be done properly and in an orderly manner? Why is that so important for us as individuals? Why should we do things properly and orderly? and not in a chaotic manner. Why is that so important? All right, there you go. 1 Corinthians 14:33. Yep. So, why do you think things should be done properly and in an orderly manner? Why is that? Why is that there in the Bible in 1 Corinthians 14? Things must be done properly and in an orderly manner. Why is that so important? Why do you think things need to be done properly and orderly? Because when we think about it, God, He makes sure things are in order. He didn't create chaos. He didn't create disorder. He wanted to make sure everything is in order. Everything flows in an order, right? So when things are properly done and in order, everything just flows well. There's less chaos. There's less stress. If you went somewhere and things are in a mess and in disarray, what happens? You feel stressed out. You can't find things. You can't this. You can't that. But when things are in order, it's just easy to just navigate and gravitate to that thing. And once you're done, you put it back and everything is neat and organized. So that's one thing we want to keep in mind today. It's not just cleaning up your computer desktop and maybe creating folders. No, it goes beyond that. What we are doing is creating an order and a structure so everyone can feel good, so there's less chaos. All right, so now we're going to dive in on how do we organize our desktop. Well, there are some things that we can do. Um, One, how do we organize our desktop? Well, we can delete files and folders you don't need. The same way we apply it to our physical world, we can apply it to our digital world. So when we think about deleting files and folders you don't need, it's kind of like doing some spring cleaning, right? You look around your house and you see, well, I don't really use that item. I don't really need that item, and I think I can give away my clothes to someone else, right? Same way you can do that for your digital world so you don't become a digital hoarder. You know, I'm learning how to not always keep digital stuff and say, I'm okay with deleting this maybe blurry image or a file that I haven't used in about 10 years. I could delete it. So, how do you organize your desktop or files on your computer or even apps on your phone? Is either delete those files, folders, or apps you don't need. Now, when it comes to your computer, create structure and create order. So, creating document categories that you are able to find things easy, and place those items in those folders. And at the end of the day, move those folders to the cloud as another way to back up your documents and your files and things that you care for. Because a computer hardware can crash at any moment. An external hard drive can crash at any moment. But once it's backed up to the cloud, that is your safe haven. That you know that those things are going to be backed up and stored properly, and the less likely you would lose those important things that matter to you. Now, we're going to do a fun activity just to make sure everyone is good with organizing. We're going to do a quick, fun organizing quiz activity, but it's going to be fun. Don't worry. All right, so we have some of our directions. You'll be given 7 categories and 7 types of documents, and I want you to match the pairs by dragging them together. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat right now. And what we want to do right here is go to that Quizlet, and I'm going to go to that on the computer. And all we want to do is match those files, or those not files. We want to match those categories to the documents and match them together with this Quizlet fun activity. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to reshare my screen so we're able to do that. So I'm just going to go to here to stop sharing my screen. And now I'm going to share that Quizlet one, and we're going to navigate to that. Now, if you already done that, what was your high score? I'm interested to see what is everyone's high score with this game that we are playing. All right, so I shared the screen right here. Now we're just gonna do a fun Quizlet activity. So I put the link in the chat. We're just matching up the items right here. So I'm gonna do start game, and we want to match this up to the folder that it goes into. So I'm looking at this right now. So I see the word resume. I feel that would go into the careers and EDU folder. All right, there we go. So I can see we have title loan. So that will go with auto. Now let's see. Where would where would health insurance go? Where would that go? I know it might be a little bit hard to see on the screen, but where would this go in a folder? Where would the health insurance go in the folder? Would it go in medical? Or would it go in health and hobbies? Where would that go? All right, it looks like someone said medical. Yep, there you go. Now let's see, for lifestyle, I feel that might go under health and hobbies. And now we have bank statements, which will go under the financial folder, and vital documents, things that are very essential, will go, like maybe a will. So we can see we organized all of this right here, which is great. So we can see that we was able to organize our folder. So it's just a fun, quick activity everyone is able to do real quick. So I hope everyone enjoyed a little bit of that. Now, I mentioned personal files and folders and how we are able to organize everything, right? So I want to give everyone who is watching a cheat sheet on how you can organize your stuff. Now, a lot of times we might have a hard time figuring out, well, how do I organize everything? How do I organize this, that, the other? Well, I'm going to give you a link that you are able to download. So this right here, I made this chart for everyone, how you can organize your own personal files. So I'm just going to add that link in the chat so everyone has access to this right here. So let me just copy this link for everyone real quick. And I'm just going to paste this in here. So everyone can have this JPEG right here on organizing your personal files. You know, this is a great way. And this is what I use personally to try to stay organized when it comes to my personal stuff, But also, you can kind of utilize this for your business stuff as well. So if you are a business owner, right, apply what you see here that will make sense to your business. You can take these categories and change them however you see fit, and how they will fit your needs in your life or maybe your business. Now, if we look up here, let me just bring the laser pointer up. So if we look up here, we have our folder structure here. So with this will be like our main folders. And within this will be our different subfolders, our subcategories, right? So let's take auto for instance. I will have an auto folder, and within that auto folder, we'll have repairs and services. So if I got any things done for my car, what would I do? I would create that repairs and service folder, and any documents that I got that I maybe take a picture of the receipt or anything that deals with auto repair service, I will put that right in that folder. Same thing for here. We're all probably sprucing up our resumes here and there, right? So why not create a career and EDU folder and have a resume folder and put your resumes in there just to stay organized? So this chart right here, I know it looks like a lot, but you can apply this to your personal life, your business life. It's the same way we would do something maybe in the physical realm. Now you have it digitally. Um, you might have a folder that has all your bank statements in there. You might have another folder that has all the bills and everything that goes in. Um, you know, this is going to be the same thing, but for um, your digital world. So, this is a great way to utilize that right there. Now, what we want to do is now go to our third activity. But is there any questions or comments in the chat? I know I've been chatting up a storm, but is there any questions or comments in the chat so far? And how's everyone doing so far? All right, so I'm going to move on to our third activity. So, with our third activity, for the next 5 minutes, I want you to go through your device and delete anything that is irrelevant or unnecessary. Now, I know for me, I went through that. I saw some apps on my phone that I don't use a lot. So I started deleting and get rid of it. Now, on my computer, I did the same thing. There were some documents that I haven't used in a long time, applications I uninstalled. So we're going to spend the next 5 minutes going through your device. Delete anything that is irrelevant or unnecessary. Now, um, if if it's not your own computer, if your parents, don't delete their stuff, okay? Do not delete their stuff. But if it is your own computer and you see something like, I haven't used that document in a while, or this document I really don't need. I graduated 3 years ago. I don't need that paper anymore, or maybe that presentation. You can get rid of it. It frees up space from your device and things like that. So, for the next 5 minutes or so, we are going to look through your device. If not your computer, your phone. There might be an app on there that you don't use anymore. Um, and just go through and see what is it that you want to keep and what is it that you do not want to keep. So I'm going to be doing that too as well. I did some reorganizing a little bit later, or this afternoon, but doesn't hurt to go and look through stuff that I don't use anymore. Any different applications, maybe games or anything that you can clear out maybe from your phone or on your computer as well. All right. All right. So that is actually so. Here's one that I deleted. I don't really use Xfinity's Stream application. Don't have a need for it. I just download it once and it's been there forever. But, I'm just going to delete it. I don't need it and kind of go from there. So, this is where I can start being clutter free and freeing up space on my devices right here. All right. So, I'm just going to move on in the sake of time right here. So we already kind of did all of that. Now, what I want to do is dive into the actual activity. How do we organize our desktop? How do we do X, Y, and Z, right? Well, I'm going to show everyone that right now on how we can be organized. So I'm just going to share my screen one more time. I hope everyone is doing well, and thank you so much for coming out and watching on how to be organized. All right, so we can see here, this is my desktop right here. Now, I know this might look simple, but it is good to stay organized. So you can see right here, this is kind of like a little bit of a cluttered mess, right? You can see I have a few documents here. I have this download here, but I don't really need these things. So all I'm doing is I'm checking these off. Now, if you're on a Mac, you can do kind of like the same thing, but we're on a PC. But you can see I can check the things that I don't need. And all I have to do is just hit the delete key um, right here and delete these files. So these are the things that I don't need. But I need to now stay organized right here. We can see we have a resume one, insurance one, a careers one. Now, how do we stay organized? Now, I could take this resume folder and drag it into here and be good to go. But everything needs a home. So, how can we stay organized this way? I could drag and drop right there, but I want to show you a keyboard shortcut that's really cool. Now, if you're on your Windows device, on a Windows 10 device, what you can do is hold down your Windows key on your computer and hit the letter E. And what this is going to do is open up a File Explorer window, as you can see right here. So we can see that it opens up a File Explorer window for us. So I did Windows key and the letter E, as you can see right here, opens up my File Explorer window right here. But I want to actually move these files and stay organized, right? How do we do that? Simple. Now, I'm going to do the same step. Windows key, letter E. That's going to open up another File Explorer window, as we can see. So, the File Explorer window that I have right here. Now, what I want to do is I want to snap these windows side by side. Now, this is actually really cool. So, we have what we are trying to do, and I'll show you real quick, is organize these things that are on my desktop. I have this resume document, I have this insurance one, careers one, Mother's Day one. So I want to make sure everything is organized for me, that I will be able to kind of understand it more. So How do I do that? So I did two shortcuts, Windows key and the letter E. It opens up my file explorer here. Now, all I'm going to do is hold down our Windows key and our left or our right arrow, and that's going to split our screen in half. Now, why is that good? Well, we're able to now stay organized where I can look at one side on one screen and focus on the other side to move it over. Now, Windows key, left and right arrow snaps the windows. Now, I'm going to go to my desktop on the left-hand side, right here. On this left side, I know these are the folders that I want to be in, that I need to move things. And on the right side here, this is where I can drag and drop the files that I want. So we have this resume one right here. Now I'm going to go into our career and EDU folder. And we can see right here, I can make a new folder here at the top. And I'm just going to call this one resumes. So anytime I want to upload a resume or anything, I can do that. Now you can see I can click into the resume one, and now it's saying this folder is empty. But what I'm doing is going to take our resume document and drag it over and move it into its folder. And now we can see automatically I can start being organized by dragging and dropping things right here. So for auto, we have our auto insurance. So I'm just going to click on auto and I'm going to call this one insurance. So anything that relates to my auto insurance will go into that folder. And I'm just going to drag this insurance one and move it here. So we can see we are now being organized. We're putting things in our folders. So we are good to go. I have this Mother's Day one right there. So I don't really have a folder on our desktop for that. But I'm going to create a new folder. And I'm just going to call this one Lifestyle. And I'm just going to rename this one Photos. So now I can drag the Mother's Day one inside of here, and now we can stay organized. So is there any questions so far on that right there? So we can see right here on our desktop now, it is becoming cluttered free, which is good. So we don't have to worry about anything being messy or in disarray. So we are kind of like good to go that way. So we can see all of our stuff is being organized right here in our folders. Now, I mentioned on our desktop right here that it is good to have folders on our desktop, but we want to make sure that we don't lose those files that we care for. So what do? Well, I'm going to drag our Google Files or Google Drive folder. Now, if you use Apple's iCloud or Microsoft's OneDrive, this works all the same. So we can see right here, me preparing for this class today, following the breadcrumbs, right? So within the folder, there's the PHM EDU curriculum. There's me, the instructor. But within that folder, there's a technology folder. And inside of there was organizing your folders right here. But we can see right here, we have our files, things I've been working on. So the PowerPoint presentation and also the document that I shared with everyone. But what I want to do is create maybe a new folder. And we can see here, I am able to create a new folder. I can upload files or upload the folders. So I'm going to create a new folder and I'm just going to call this one Demo content. You might rename this anything you want from your desktop um, or documents from my flash drive. You can rename this folder anything you want. So you can see I hit create, and now I'm going to place those demo content. So the things that I have here, the auto, the career, the lifestyle ones, as my demo, I want to now move those files in here in the cloud. So how do I do that? I can just highlight them and just drag them in here, and it's going to upload those files now on my computer or in the cloud in Google Drive, and I am good to go. Now, why is that so important? Because now I have everything backed up to the cloud, my resume, maybe my insurance card, and things like that. So, in the event my computer crashes or anything, those things are backed up. But once I feel comfortable that everything is in the cloud and I can have access to it in my Google Drive, my OneDrive, or maybe Apple's iCloud, I can now take my local stuff on my computer and hit delete. And once I delete it, that means I don't have to worry about it anymore and I am good to go. So that is one thing that I like is you can stay organized that way. You can remove um, those files that you don't need anymore and just stay cluttered free. So, what did we kind of learn today? We learned about staying organized. We learned a lot about how do we become organized on our computer? How do we become organized in our life? We want to make sure things are in order at all times. We don't want things in chaos. God created us, to be loving, to be caring, but to be organized. We want to follow in his steps. He's organized. We should be organized. If we can be organized in our physical world, we can be organized in our digital world as well. So, thank you everyone for coming out on a Wednesday night, learning a little bit on how to stay organized. Thank you, Miss Neva, and everyone in the chat participating. So, thank you so much, everyone. I hope everyone has a great week. Hope to see everyone at church on Sunday. So, everyone, stay safe, stay blessed, and I hope everyone has a great night.